Hi everyone, welcome back to Dwarf Fortress Monday and the Dwarf Fortress tutorial and the Brightmines and Thob Buzzetitan, the Dwarven child, who has just built Deschlongesh, an oaken crown. I'll get to this in just a second, but as I was trying to solve the problem right before the episode from last week where we broke down into the caverns and there's all these entrances now to my fort, which is very unsafe. As I was trying to solve that problem, we had this pop up here. And if you remember from before, we had a Dwarven child start an artifact, a Fey artifact, and it looks like he just finished it. So we can press enter to clear that window, and there's actually a special menu to look at artifacts. You can see it over here on the right here, and here he is right here. He's just finished it. Let's press L. And you'll see here a crown may be worn as headgear or on top of a helmet. Although usually just decorative or symbolic, crowns sometimes deflect attacks. It's auburn in color. So let's hit V to see a description of this masterwork of Dwarven engineering. This is an oaken crown. All craft dwarf is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of oak, and on the item is an image of a long yam plant in oak. Okay, well, that's not the most interesting item he could have created, but it's called the Heavenly Confederations. It is an oaken crown, so that's kind of cool, right? We had a Dwarven child. I suppose he just moved into the fort. He was thinking, oh, this is a great new place. I love to live here. I wonder what the king of this mountain will. Bam! He got this great idea for this Heavenly Confederation. So we've got this crown now. It's going to be a part of our fortress. Usually artifacts are worth quite a bit. Unfortunately, this one is not like a weapon or something that's going to be useful in combat. I could sell it. I could trade it away, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So the next time an artifact comes up, we can hopefully have more details. It'll be a bit more interesting than just a simple crown, but alas, that's what we have for now. Our smoothing is almost done, which is great. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let's go down to the cavern. We'll get there eventually. I think we'll get there. There we go. Okay, so here was my problem, was that there's two floors to the caverns. One here, which we were able to solve by building a wall. There's no longer an entrance here. And I have some stairs leading up. There were some ramps here that I've cleared, and if you remember how to clear ramps, I did it a few episodes ago. You press D, and then there's remove upstairs / ramps, which is Z. I sent a guy down here to clear them out. He did. He got stuck down here because the ramps were his means down, and he cleared them out. So I had him build an upward stair and an up-down stair here for later, and he was able to climb back out. So the bottom of the two floors is solved. We solved that problem. A Ohm or a Forgotten Beast can't walk through here and up the stairs. However, a flying beast could fly directly through here, which is one level up and directly in. So what I've done is I've built two floor panels here. I couldn't build walls because walls need supporting floors underneath them. So it's in the same build menu as the walls are. And remember, if you don't know how to play, you can turn on annotations and the important ones will pop up at the bottom. But you'd press you'd press B for build, capital C for walls and floors and things like that. And then you can see up there, floors are F. So you press F and then you have your cursor. Just like placing bridges, just like placing farms, you use U to make it taller, K to make it wider, or in reverse, H to make it thinner, M to make it smaller. So what I did was I put a 2x1 and I placed it right here, and they're not built yet, I don't think. Let's press Q to take a look at them. No, Q, yep. Still waiting for construction, so we will unpause it. We'll take a look at our miners. No, okay, masons are doing it. Actually, they're walls, they're construction, so anybody can. There we go. So we have our floors now intact. So So now if we do B for build, Shift C, we should be able to build a wall here. I know a construction is present, you silly thing. Wait a minute, did I do this wrong? Block floor. And that's down. I'm not sure why I can't build a wall. I can build it there. Well, either way, I can't build it on top. That seems weird. I felt like before you could build a floor and then a wall on top of it. Regardless, we can now build the walls on the outside of these two. So let's build one here. Gabbro is fine. And then we'll press W and build another one right here. And once these are done, my fort will be completely sealed off from the underground caverns, which is very important because then forgotten beasts cannot get in. Remember that diagonals are accessible actually, so this may not have done it because they could fly from here to here. Okay, so let's do this then. I'm not sure why. That may be something that's changed. Let's do D, and then we will press N to remove construction. This might have been the first time I've done this. So if you want to remove a construction, which floors and walls are, you press D for designation, N for remove construction, and we're going to remove this one. So you're watching me now forget. Remember that part of this series. Oh, there's a thing flying right there. Please don't be a forgotten beast. That's nothing. Okay. As I said and have said before, I do forget things, and I will forget plenty. And that's part of why we're doing this series, just so that I can remember and I can teach you. So let's do B, Shift C, W for wall. Okay, now I can build it. I couldn't build it before, I'm not sure why. I'm sure there's some reason why, but let's go ahead and build that wall right there. And actually that's still not going to do it. So I didn't need to do these at all, turns out. I don't think. Let's do DN, remove construction, remove these floors as well. And then from there, okay, we've built this wall, so this way is safe, but they could go angle, 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 and so that would still cause the problem. What are you, a shrub? Okay. I'm like all nervous. I don't want something bad to happen. Usually when a forgotten beast shows up, though, you get an announcement about it, so it's not like he could just be like, oh, I'm here. I don't think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Let's do B, Shift C, W for wall. There we go. It's happening. Sometimes you just have to mess with it for a while. So now this is going to create an impassable area as soon as someone comes down to build it. Anybody? What? So many no jobs. I'm being a very bad fort manager right now. But that's okay. Let's actually head up while we're doing this. Go back up to the dining rooms, or the bedrooms. Oh man, there's so many floors. There we go. I need to bookmark these. So now that this part has been fully smoothed out, it looks really nice. I really like the aesthetic that you get there. Now let's designate some areas to be engraved. So that's going to be E. We're going to engrave this whole area, the walls and the floors. There we go. And our engraver, who is called Kane, should head over here, and now he's engraving the walls. Very cool. It's exactly what we were after. Head back down. Let's make sure that this wall has been built. It still has not been. What's going on here? Oh, I canceled it. I'm a dummy. Can they not get there? Is that the problem? I bet they can't get there. So let's see. Let's do this. Let's dig out this part of the wall. It's not always pretty. It's not. Excuse me. It's not always pretty. Dwarf Fortress is not always pretty. Sometimes it is. Hey, you giant Olm, you stay away. He can't get to us. There we go. Okay, good. The wall is now done. We've built a wall. Good job. We didn't make them pay for it. We paid for it, but we still built the wall anyway. So now that's done, we can not worry about the underground caverns sending up all kind of nasty things. At least not yet. We'll open them eventually to get to the goods, but let's actually build a few more beds. I think we need to do that. We need to flesh out these bedrooms so that we can move the dwarves down here safely. We have lots of beds, it looks like. How do I have this? They're in the cracks. There we go. Perfect. And let's build some doors here. I remember I have some doors placed or built previously. Don't have too many here, but I do have them. And because of workflow, I will have dwarves automatically build extra ones. So every once in a while I can come down here, tell them to build a few, or tell them to place a few beds and doors, and then they will do it because workflow is going to keep them. See, there you go. Resuming production door. Perfect. Alright, so now our dwarf, Cain, is engraving these walls. Let's press K to take a look at them. So now they should say detailed. Detailed wall. Detailed floor. If we press enter, we can view it, and you can see engraved is a Cain, so Cain being our engraver, Cain rendition of a finely designed image of a dwarf. The image is a symbol of the dye of coloring a dwarven civilization. So somehow, Cain has captured the entire civilization in this image. We just have to use our imagination to determine what it is. Let's look at this wall here. Engraved on the wall is an image of ducks by Cain. So Cain perhaps likes ducks. Let's take a look at this wall. Engraved on this wall is an image of a ballista arrow by Cain. Cain, an image of dwarves, an image of shields, an image of circles, an image of a gizzard stone. So clearly Cain likes a variety of things. The coolest part of these engravings, which we'll kind of see later, is that as things happen in my fort, as nobles arrive, as giants are slain, as forgotten beasts are killed, or perhaps kill our dwarves, engravings will start to take on those qualities. Dwarves will see things that happen in the fort, remember them, and then engrave about them, which is really cool to kind of see your fort and your history unfold just like that. So let's head up here. What can we do? We have plenty of dwarves doing things now, which is good. Mostly they're moving things around. I still have plenty of, looks like plump helmets being sewn, which is good. Let's go down to the stocks. We are going to, actually let's go over to the kitchen. We have some asparagus, a lot of bayberries, a ton of peaches still. 63 plump helmets, which is plenty. So our stocks are actually looking quite good. Let's look at our animal population. We haven't had a explosion yet of cats and dogs. Once we do that, we can talk about butchering. Build a few more tables. BT for table. BT. There we go. No, that's a bed. Oops. Cancel that. Let's go back. Hit Q. Q. I say Q. We don't want to place a bed there. That would be bad. Remove the bed. Remove the bed. There we go. BT for table. One more. Then we have some chairs, right? We can place. Yes. And then a chair here. And then we're out. Good. And just like before with workflow, the dwarves will naturally replace those, resuming production chair. So again, every once in a while, I'll just come back in here, drop them off, and eventually I'll have a full dining room just filled with them. I probably will not talk about it whenever I do them now. Probably do that off camera for the most part. But everybody seems to be having a pretty good time. Why is there just dead saplings on the floor? That brings me to something else we need to do. We need a place to dump trash. Right now, everything just gets kind of left where it is. And when food spoils, or when certain creatures die, like if a cat is chasing around a lizard creature and the cat kills the lizard, it will just sit there and die and start to rot, which produces bad thoughts. So let's go up to the top. Let's go, we could do it at the very top level if we wanted to. Let's press I to see our zones. There's one zone. Let's lay down another, unless I didn't do a refuge zone down here, did I? That's a gathering zone. And over here is a fishing zone. I do not have a garbage dump, so let's go up here. And we will tell dwarves to dump garbage and stuff right here. I'll tell you what, let's actually not make it that big. Press X to remove the zone. Make it that big. There we go. We'll go over it, and we will press D for garbage dump. So now anything like refuse should be dumped out here. We can actually double this up if we go to P for stockpiles, and we go to a refuse stockpile. We can set one. Let's set a small one right here, like so. Press Q to take a look at it. Change the settings. Go down to refuse. Now, there's certain things we actually don't want to store up here because we want to keep them because we can turn them into good later on. So we don't want to store. We do want to store corpses. We do want to store body parts. We want to forbid skulls from being stored here. Forbid bones. Forbid shells, teeth, horns, and wool. That should be it. I forget actually. Did we make a refuse stockpile down here? Armor, finished goods, weapons, ammo, cloth, animals, gems, furniture, bar block. We didn't. We did not. Let's go ahead and do that. Press P. A refuse stockpile with R. We'll make it over here in the corner. Keep it kind of lonely. Press Q. Change the settings again. And this time we do not want to store. We want to forbid corpses and body parts and I think general item types. So now skulls, bones, shells, teeth, horns, hooves, and hair will be stored here. And then I can create things with them at the Craft Dwarf shop, which is right here. A few things I need to do. Let's go back up to the top. I need to build some more traps. Let's build some traps. I should have what I need. Press B. We're looking for traps. Traps and levers. Shift T, capital T. And we need more cage traps, so press C. We're going to build some right here at the entrance. We have several. C, C, C. There we go. This is another layer of safety. Again, since kobolds will be invisible when they come in, if they trigger anywhere along here, if they're further in, they will run out and trigger these traps. If they're in between here, they'll run down and trigger these. So those will get built quite nicely. Very cool. Well, you know what? We only have about a minute left, so... Uh-oh. Look at that. It's winter. We have some ice being frozen over. Or some water being frozen over into ice and snow. There you go. So fishing and drinking water is actually not going to be viable at all during winter. It's good to know because injured dwarves, when they're in the hospital, in a hospital, cannot drink alcohol. They can only drink water, and we're not going to have that option. So what we're going to need to do, I think, at some point is build ourselves a cistern to store some water to drink from once winter is here. Because winter is coming, it's clearly here. Just watched the Game of Thrones for today, so it's on my mind, but I think that might do it for this episode. I know usually I go a few minutes over 20 minutes, but I don't really have enough time to get into something new. No, I don't think so. I think I'll talk about assigning beds at the start of the next episode, but thank you guys so much for joining me. If you have any idea of kind of some cool ways to handle, let's go down, to handle these entrances here. I had one person make a comment, which is kind of what I used to kind of help do this, was start off with some floors to kind of start a wall and then build walls off of that. But if you have any other tricks or tips on how to handle the forgotten caves or the underground caverns or whatever you call them, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want a dwarf named after you, speaking of which, please let me know. And now that I've said that, it reminded me I had a request for that. Let me actually look this up real quick. I had the wiki ready, but I don't actually need it. I don't typically do this on screen. Usually I do it off screen, but I've completely forgotten. And so now you have to suffer with me as I wait for YouTube to load. And go to... I'm done, by the way. If you want to close out this video, you're more than welcome to. I am all done. I'm not doing anything else with Dwarf Fortress, but I did have someone leave a comment that they wanted to have a dwarf named after them. And I figure might as well do it on channel. I know you guys like listening to me talk, ramble about things that I have no need to ramble about. Miners. Nope, don't run the video. Just go look at the comments. There we go. Okay, I was pretty sure I knew the name, but here we go. We have another dwarf that's joining the ranks. Let's see, we have this guy. Animal care. No, I don't really. I tell you what. You want to replace Cain? We can do that, I think. Let's replace Cain. Let's replace Cain with Ragnar. Ragnar, the dwarf, is replacing Cain. And now I can use Cain again in the future. But there we go. We now have Ragnar, the smoother and engraver. Hopefully you like the job that you were given. If not, it's too late because I'm in control. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining me for this episode. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button down below. It helps me out a ton, helps people find this channel. And if they're interested in learning how to play Dwarf Fortress, helps them find this tutorial series. I will see you again next Monday. See you next time.